Good morning, everyone. Welcome to my another subscribers lesson about IELTS exam. It's Saturday morning here in the UK, and our local time is 6:29. Once again, you're watching my live stream, and thanks for joining at the moment. Hello, Mariam. Hello, Nasser. Hello, Magriona. Welcome. Hello, Rahul. You're from India. Welcome. Mariam, you're new here. Welcome. No problem. Thanks for joining at the moment, dear viewers. For the new users, there is a chance to hop on here because I'm offering 2 free lessons from every class if you visit my profile and sign up from there. It's very easy and very amazing idea to join my live streams. Okay, so you can visit my profile once again to join the free excuse me lessons, and I hope that you can join because Hello has made this opportunity to hop on and subscribe for the new users freely, and you don't have to pay any money. Okay, generally it costs $16 for the whole month, where you will get 8 lessons in a month, one lesson twice a week, and each class has an hour or 1 hour duration. And these classes help you a lot if you're weak in grammar or spoken English, or if you need to know the IELTS strategies, or if you need to know the different kinds of information which is helpful for you to get the required score. Possibly it will be better for you to join any of my lessons. Okay, Rahul, you're new here as well. Welcome. So, what do you like to know, guys? Mariam and Rahul. If you've got any question, you can write in the comment section. As I can see, you're asking questions and I'm trying to respond to your question. This app is an English learning app, but social English learning app. You can join any teacher's live stream, any student's live stream to practice and listen your English. And also you can conduct your live stream as well, where you can bring 2 people on the open sections and you can talk to them. This is how it works. And as a matter of fact, we've got around 160 teachers from different countries. We all are different and unique in teaching. Check your teacher's live stream before you join the teacher's classes, whether the time is suitable for you or not, whether it is the topic that you are looking for, or whether you learn something from the teacher. Do not subscribe to the teacher when you are not able to listen or join the teacher. Okay, and yes, Rahul, you can talk to other people, and we have got 2 other features from the mobile. One of them is Insta Match, which means instant matching of the speaking partner. If you click on it, you will be connected to a student automatically who can talk to you. And next one is Insta Class, which is like a class with a native teacher where you have to pay at least $4.99, which is $5 for the first 20 minutes. Because many of our learners have the interest to talk to native teachers to get the uh, solution of a problem, they can connect to the teacher anytime, because we have got teachers who are active 24/7, and our live streams are almost 24/7, including teachers and students. As I've said, we learn a lot of things. And my class, especially this class, is based on IELTS exam. And if you have got any question about IELTS exam, I'll be happy to answer it. Do you know that because of the IELTS score, many students do not get the opportunity for the higher studies, for the opportunity to scholarships, for the opportunity to become citizenship in many countries? This is one of the internationally recognized exams which allows you to open the horizon of the global citizenship. And just picture it, if you are a citizen of the UK or the citizen of the United States of America, with these two passports, you can visit anywhere in the world. And as a matter of fact, with the American passport, you can visit more than 160 countries without needing visa. Likewise, with the British passport, you can visit more than 142 countries without needing visa. Same as Canadian passport, Australian, New Zealand, and European Union's passport. And in order to get this passport or citizenship or a job offer, you must have good results in academic. Also, you must have a good test score, which allows you to grab the opportunity. So, guys, today we are going to talk about IELTS writing session. So, bear me a moment, please. Before that, I'd like to show you a small video by the British Council. As you might be aware, IELTS is conducted by the British Council or the Cambridge University of the UK, as well as ITB Australia, and they have got some tiny videos, informative videos for you to know. And honestly, I try to play one of the videos each session so that you know what to look for and how to answer and how to control your communication skills. Bear in mind that these are the property of the British Council UK, and it's open for everyone. Anyone can watch it and listen to it. But the matter is that when you watch it, sometimes you don't understand many terms. So I try to explain each and every term so that you are aware how you would get good scores in IELTS exam. Okay, so let's move on. It's about writing, task response, and task achievement. And what do you understand by these two words? If you're watching for the first time, I'm very glad that you have joined, and I'd like to welcome you in my live stream. And if you're a recurrent viewer, thanks for coming back. It's really my pleasure to see you here. So let's move on. Writing, task response, and task achievement.
So, you've decided to take the IELTS exam. Good for you. It's the test for study, work, and life. The IELTS writing test is divided into two tasks. The first task differs depending on the module you are taking. There are two IELTS modules. The IELTS academic module is generally taken by anyone intending to pursue higher education studies in an English-speaking institute or country. The IELTS General Training module is generally taken for immigration or employment purposes. Here, we look at the criteria of task response for writing Task 1 and task achievement for writing Task 2. These represent one of four criteria on which you will be tested. Look for the other three criteria in other videos. These criteria focus on the degree to which the exam question has been answered properly. In the academic module, there is a writing task of at least 150 words where you should summarize, describe, or explain a table, graph, or diagram. You might be expected to make comparisons too. Successfully negotiating this academic task 1 means you will need to identify all the key features in the diagram. You might lose marks if important details are left out. Provide sufficient detail for a meaningful explanation, not too much detail, not too little. Ensure accuracy when referring to data or describing trends or processes. It's important to write a clear overview. This means summarizing the most significant trends or features from the data or information in the diagram. This is not simply an introduction to the topic. That's a common mistake. Here's an example of identifying significant trends. Looking at this graph, we would say, from the graph, it is apparent that participation of both men and women in full-time employment has increased over this time period. However, while the numbers of women are generally increasing, the numbers of men in part-time employment are fluctuating. In a question requesting a process description, the overview might identify the key stages in the process. For instance, how many stages there are and what each are, briefly. In the general training module, there is a letter writing task of at least 150 words. In this task, explain the reason for the letter. Include all the points mentioned in the question, and use a consistent and appropriate tone. In both modules, Task 2 is a short essay task of at least 250 words. You are expected to present your opinion on a specific topic, supporting your ideas with evidence. Task 2 contributes more to your overall writing mark than Task 1. To master Task 2, you will need to respond completely to all parts of the question. Develop and support your ideas. Don't just mention them in a single sentence and move on to the next idea. Add explanations, examples, or experience. Ensure your opinion is clear in your answer. Make sure you underline key words in the exam question. Identify how many parts there are to the question, and make sure you do everything you are asked to do. Before you write, plan your ideas, though keep them relevant. Then group and sequence them. Spending 2 to 3 minutes doing this can save you time when you are writing. Follow the recommended timings for each task and meet minimum word counts. For more information, please see the other writing test videos: Coherence and Cohesion, Lexical Resource, and Grammatical Range and Accuracy.
Okay, guys, that is a short video from the British Council UK, and it's all about writing task of IELTS exam. So you must have noticed that in IELTS exam, there are two types of tests. One of them is academic, and another one is general training. In both cases, you have to write two tasks. Task 1, which is 150 words, and you have to write it 20 minutes. And task 2 is 250 words. I have to write in 40 minutes. If you have listened it carefully, it says task 2 carries the higher mark, and which is roughly 70% of the total score, whereas task 1 carries the lower mark, which is 30%. So the simple basic math is, if the high score is 9, and in that case task 2 carries 6.3, whereas task 1 carries 2.7. And how can you practice writing? That is the challenging part. Bear in mind that writing is one of the hardest parts of English learning, and I know that many of you do not write regularly. Even you can't write one or two sentences. I've seen in many occasions when students come here and I ask them, write a sentence about your childhood. Um, they have difficulties about writing, and sometimes it is obvious that it's a matter of practice. But amazing part is that many of our learners are really interested to develop their writing, and through my classes, I give the opportunity to those students. If you can write a topic and send it to me, I can check it, give you feedback, and I can advise you what to do in order to get good scores. But also, many students find it difficult to use grammar correctly, use formal words appropriately, or use what they should write because they think they don't have any ideas. That is the amazing part of IELTS writing section, that you have to have good knowledge of all the different criteria how the writing should be getting good score. Number one is you must know good grammar if you like to develop your writing. Number two, you must write sentences correctly, logically complete, meaningful, and sensible. I use these four words. Disclaimer, these are my explanation. Because if you write a sentence which doesn't really mean anything, or which is not related to the topic or relevant to the topic, then you're not going to get good marks. You're not going to get any marks at all, honestly, if you're writing something different. So, the first criteria of IELTS writing is task response for the task one and task achievement for the task two. In academic and the general, task one is a bit different. We'll discuss academic today, and the next class, which is tomorrow, we'll discuss general writing for the task one, so that we know what exactly we get the questions in the real life exam. And after that, next week we'll discuss task two for both of you, both of the tests. And if you've got any questions or comments here, we are more than welcome. And as I said, if you're interested to join, it's very easy. Visit my profile and subscribe to my class from there, and you'll get 2 free lessons. This is what Hallo is offering all of the new students. So free trial means you don't have to pay any money at all for the 2 lessons, and after that your trial period would be over. But if you're interested to join after that, you have to pay once again $16 to Hallo. Teachers do not take any money at all directly. It's the Hallo that you have to pay, you have to deal. So let's move on with the task one, academic. What we get exactly and how we can present ourselves in writing. So generally in task one, we get this type of questions: pie chart, table, map, process diagram, bar chart, line graph, line chart, pie and bar chart, etc. And if you have noticed from the video, they have mentioned that you have to develop your thoughts by seeing this any of these topics, and then you have to go with your writing. Please bear in mind that an IELTS exam time is a very important factor, and we have to be quick in writing. You have to be faster writing. Otherwise, it will be impossible for you to complete your tasks with the stipulated time of 60 minutes. I always suggest our subscribers and students to go for the task two first, which is a bit difficult and which carries around 70 marks. And after that, go for the task one, which carries 30% of the marks, and where you have to write 150 words. So one student asked me, teacher, does the examiner count the numbers of the word? Yes, they do. Because if you don't fulfill the criteria of the requirement of task one or task two, you don't get good score, good mark. So always be aware about the number of words you write. And also, you can write 10 to 15% more, which is really acceptable by the examiners. But even some of the writings I've seen, people write like 30% more. Okay, so uh, let's discuss more about the task one. And in order to write task one or um, complete this task, there are four marking criteria. Task response, 25%. Actually, achievement is for task two. It should be task response. Coherence and cohesion, lexical resources, grammatical range, and accuracy. Okay, so what do you understand by the task response? Task response means when you've been asked to identify or compare the data of the task one, you have to just fulfill and answer it correctly, paraphrase it. We call it overview. Remember that overview is not an introductory sentence. Overview is the general idea of the topic, what you're going to write. And coherence and cohesion is explaining about the topic step by step, where one sentence is linked related to the next sentence. And lexical resources mainly deals with different kinds of words, antonyms, it could be synonyms, it could be phrasal verbs, it could be group verbs, it could be phrases as well. Bear in mind that in IELTS writing exam, we never use any kind of idioms. Idioms are only accepted through a speaking part. So you got to be very careful about using idioms. Um, then we have to be careful about using formal word. Remember that there are many words we use informally, but in IELTS exam, it is expected that student must use formal word. And after that, you have to follow the special spelling technique, whether if you're following the British English, they've got special spellings, many words, and like color, realize, program, and they've got different expressions either. So if you're after the American English, just go for it. Like similarly, they're spelling color, program, and realize, where they use different kind of spellings. And after that, remember that you must use the words correctly, and that's very much important for you. And the fourth marking criteria is grammatical range and accuracy. What it means, many people, many teachers, and I've seen many videos that they claim that you don't have to learn grammar, but that is not the fact. If you are planning to sit for the IELTS exam or any other certificate exams in the world, like TESOL, TEFL, CELTA, Delta, Pearson Test of Australia, or Canadian English Test, or Cambridge English Test, where you have to ascertain that you maintain the grammar rules and you write them correctly. Right. So, and accuracy is, it must be accurate. And in order to have accuracy, once again, grammar is a vital factor, and grammatical ranges, different structures, and if you're not sure how to write correctly or how to practice grammar, the best option would be to subscribe to a teacher who is competent and qualified, who can help you, guide you, and obviously who can explain for all the correct and incorrect answers. Okay, so let's move on. We're going to give a practical demonstration today for the task one. Before that, some other writing tips is that for every topic there would be an introduction, body paragraphs, and conclusion. And we use this word brainstorm, which means that you need to get the ideas how and what you're going to write. For every topic, we ask 5 W's and 1 H questions, which is WS questions, like what, who, when, where, why, and how. So next one is personalize it, which means that when you're giving examples, give the examples from a known circle. Stick to the formal language. And I'm sure you know the formal language. If you don't know what is formal language, formal writing, it's better to know it and practice writing it. Avoid repetition and embrace punctuation. So many of our learners do not use punctuations properly and they repeat the same words. Even in speaking, I have observed it, and we call it filler. Do not use any kind of filler in IELTS writing, even though. Do not be repetitive. Some examples are uh, actually, or or you know what, and well, etc. So we have to be careful about writing these words. Then build your general knowledge and pursue as topics. So you have to have good knowledge about any topic when if you are writing IELTS exam, because if you don't have the enough or general knowledge, it will be difficult for you to create sentences and express yourselves. Remember that at the end of the day, it is you who must get the good score. And best British teachers and American teachers can help you, but at the end of the day, once again, it is you who have to practice a lot, who have to follow the rules. Okay, and complete all your tasks and sit for the practice test that we call a mock test. Task 2 will describe another day. Okay, this is task achievement. I've written other way around. Task response. I'd like to elaborate a little bit more. Pay attention to all the issues in essay task question. We use compound sentences and complex sentences as well as simple, affirmative, or declarative sentences. I don't have to explain a compound sentence again because it is always very difficult for if you don't know compound sentence before. Okay. So for the introduction part, we always paraphrase it. And paraphrase is one of the amazing methods in IELTS exam. Please bear in mind that what paraphrase means. It means you're writing the same thing in your own way, not using the same words or language what you have been asked in the IELTS exam. So If you don't know how to paraphrase it, then start practicing today. So, according to the Cambridge Dictionary, what does paraphrase mean? It means to repeat something written or spoken using different words, often in a humorous form or in a simpler and shorter form that makes the original meaning clearer. So, I'm going to write this definition, paraphrase. What does paraphrase mean? So, this is a definition from the Cambridge University. Cambridge Dictionary, I mean to say, not dictionary. So, Cambridge dictionary, diction, dictionary came the word from diction, dictionary,
Dictionary.
dictionary, and there is two short sounds in dictionary. So, Cambridge Dictionary explains paraphrase means to repeat something written or spoken using different words, often in a humorous form or in a simpler and shorter form that makes the original meaning clearer. I'm sure that you have got the meaning of this whole paragraph. If you don't, disclaimer. Disclaimer. Disclaimer means my explanation. IELTS exam is not for everyone. Remember that. It's for those students and those people who are highly interested to study in the English speaking countries or English institutes, or it's for them who are interested in migrating to the English speaking countries where they can build up their future. They have got better opportunities in job, money, housing, and many other achievements. So, if you don't have enough education through which you can understand a reading or you can understand the writing or listening or speaking, then it is not the right test for you. You'll not be the right candidate. Remember that. So, what happens exactly? IELTS exam is really very well organized and well balanced exam, and it is taken from all over the world, around 198 countries and territories, where people have the opportunity to sit for the exam and get the desired score. I remember I had one you know students, I should say, whose target was to get 7.5 in that academic, and he sat for 13 times test. and after 12 times, on the 13th time, he was successful in getting 7.5 in all the four modules, because his mandatory scores is 7.5 individually, the reading, writing, and speaking section, and it's very difficult. I can guarantee you guys. Only 3 to 5% candidates get the score 7.5 and above, and 7.5 is very standard score if you want to go to English speaking countries to get a scholarship, and if you have good academic results you can also obtain the scholarship, and also if you want to get a work permit or immigration, then 7.5 is the required score. Even many scholarship authorities around the world have the set up score of 7.5. Okay. Peter, I'm on a class. Do not call me. Call me when the class is over, please. Okay. So paraphrasing, and we're going to give some example so that you know what we are talking about. I'm trying to bring a topic so that I can give you the real life example. Can you see this? Um, okay, task one. This graph below give uh, the graphs below give information about computer ownership as a percentage of the population between 2002 and 2010, and by level of education for the year 2002 and 2010. Summarize the information by selecting and reporting the main features and make comparison where relevant. Write at least 150 words. Okay. So you see that the graphs below give information about computer ownership. So what you have to do, if you remember that, introduce the graph or the chart, give an overview, then describe the main features and give short conclusions. And it must follow the introduction, body, and conclusion, these three types of subdivisions of the writing of this IELTS exam. So introduce the graph or chart. Let's do it together. So look at carefully once again. The graphs below give information about computer ownership as a percentage of the population between 2002 and 2010, and by level of education for the year. I have missed another one. Sorry, there are two paragraphs. My apology, guys. So let me bring this paragraph. So you can see graph 1, computer ownership 2002 to 2010, and graph 2, computer ownership by education level. So if you want to paraphrase it, what we have to do, remember, we have to paraphrase as interaction, then we have to overview the fact. And also, as a matter of IELTS writing criteria, um, we have to write in the third person or passive voice. We just can't write that I'm going to describe. Okay, I have to write this paragraphs or these graph charts, this topic. There are many ways it can be written. It depends on how you're comfortable with writing. So in the interaction part, paragraphs, you can write describe if you want to. Okay, you can see that this paragraph for the first one, computer ownership, this graph is increasing from 2002 to 2010, and the second paragraph, I mean bar chart, computer ownership by education level. So first one is no high school diploma, high school graduates, college, bachelor's degree, postgraduate level. It is also increasing, the second paragraph, I mean second chart. And the black part is 2002 and the gray part is 2010. So first of all, we have to write the first diagram or the bar chart. So we go individually. So the first bar just shows how the users trend grow up from 2002 to 2010. It is quite understandable that it was a slow but smooth growth. Okay, the second paragraph, compares comprehensive education level. Now, the second paragraph explains what percentage owners have have really changed during the specific period of time. So you can see the first bar chart shows how the users tend to grow. Remember to check your grammar when you finish it writing. As you might be aware, there are two types of tests. One of them is a computer-based test (CBT), another is a paper-based test (PBT). In both of the cases, when you write, you have the chance to edit your writing. So if it is a computer-based, it's very easy. Like the way I'm writing, if I detect any mistakes or errors, I straight away amend it. It's easy peasy. But if it's a paper-based, that you have to use the rubber. That's why in paper-based exam, you must use pencil while you're answering so that you can always amend your answer. So it's tend to grow up from 2002 to 2010. It is quite understandable that it was slow, but the slow punctuation, but a smooth growth. You can see that's the one. So it is a slight rise, you can say. If you add which was, not which is, it is past tense, which was slight growth. The second paragraph explains what percentage of owners changed during the specific period of time. And this graph is also growing up. So at this line, it so a little increase as well. Okay, now look at this part. Amazingly, when you're writing, we're not repeating the same words. Okay, and also you're using different kinds of vocabs, and which is very much important and needed for the IELTS exam. If you want to get good scores, especially when your target is more than 7 or above, it's highly likely that you have to be aware about the formal, informal words, using grammar correctly once again, accurately, a wider range of grammar, and using specific spelling technique, and also use the punctuations correctly. Remember, these are the important part for you to get good score. And as you might be aware that it is a mandatory requirement for many countries if you want to apply for scholarship programs, that you must have good score in IELTS. I'm just repeating this information, guys, because people might know that. And honestly, this year I've checked worldwide, most of the universities are offering scholarship for the international students. Only the basis for IELTS exam as well as your academic achievement and good scores. And for the academic purposes, it's generally more than 70% marks you need. So your results should be amazing, as well as in IELTS academic, minimum 7, and most of the cases they ask 7.5 in academic. So look at this, guys. introduction once again. The fast bar chart shows how the US trend to grow from 2002 to 2010. It is quite understandable that it was slow but smooth growth. We have used about twice, so it should be changed. It is quite understood that it was slow, steady. Right, the word steady here, but smooth growth. Then we don't have to write the slow. Right. So look, this is the advantage when you are using computer-based test. That if you want to change a word or sentence, then you can do it easily. So dear readers and dear viewers and all the watchers who are watching silently, remember that this is an important part for you also to take decision. Which kind of IELTS exam are you going to take? Is it the paper-based or the computer-based? I'll suggest you, if possible, go for the computer-based test because computer-based test is really helpful for you and practice your typing. Do not take the computer-based test if you are not comfortable in typing faster, because the more you type quickly, the more accurately you're going to get good marks. As well, once again, IELTS exam is a time control exam. You can't just stay there or sit there idly. You have to answer within the stipulated time. When the time is over, then your exam is over. One biggest suggestion for the accept the writing section for listening and reading part, one is answer all of the questions. Do not leave any unanswered questions, even you don't know all the answers, because in IELTS exam there is no negative marking for the wrong answer. So what if we say out of the 5 unanswered questions, you answered it later and 2 becomes correct and you're going to get good marks? And that is the amazing part. Okay. So once again, in IELTS academic task 1, we write the introduction. After that, overview. What is overview, guys? So in the overview part, we always mention the most noticeable information of the graph or chart. So in this part of overview, we are going to write. Now we have to compare. Remember that first we try to write individually about these two charts. After that, by the comparison, write like this if you want to. These two charts. Okay, what happened? This font has changed again. Now you have to compare. What do you notice? In 2002, it is 60, and 2010, it is 80 in the chart 1. In 2002, no education, higher education, college, bachelor's degree, and post graduation. Okay. By comparison of these two charts, we can find that. We can find out that. Find out. First chart was. Let's just. There is a slight TD growth, but the second chart shows okay guys, honestly I can't see the whole chart, but I'm just writing. Where is it? The second chart shows um, lower the education, lower the users, higher the education, higher the users. So that is a piece of information. Lower the education, the less users. But the higher the education, higher users. This is the overall inside of these two charts. Now look at this. How many words have you written already? I'm trying to count the number of the word. Okay. Already 90 words I have written. Peter, call me after the class, please. I'm sorry.
Hello, teacher.
Please call after the class. I was saying that's really be disturbing when somebody calls during the class. Sorry, guys. I have to refresh because his call was blocking the whole page. So let me show you quickly what I was explaining. So you can see the introduction, then overview. But we don't write introduction in the real life exam. I've just given an example. Then the overview is your important information. And as you see, then you go to the body part, describe the main features, then conclusions. See, it's very easy if you follow the steps, and definitely you'll be a good writer. Please bear in mind that it is important for you to practice once again. If you don't practice writing and if you don't get it checked by a qualified teacher, then it is much unlikely for you to get good scores. Once again, bear in mind that you have to have good practice every day. Write every day something new, something about a topic. And by following this criteria for the IELTS exam, because your target is to get good score and your required score. So I've shown the first part, which is task response for the IELTS academic writing. We'll describe the other parts as we go through the other classes. Dear viewers, once again, remember that in order to participate, you need to subscribe to my lesson, and that's very easy by visiting my profile and click on the subscription button where you'll have the opportunity to get the free lessons and join here. Thank you very much once again. I hope to see you soon. You take care and practice every day. Bear in mind that there is no alternative of practice, no quicker method, no shortcut method. It's your practice. You take care and bye. I'll see you later. Cheerio.